Hey, my friends, this is Lynn Smarges with Write For You. And today I'm going to talk about my process with ghostwriting with my clients. All right, my friends, so this is Lynn from Write For You, where our content creation service can take the pain point of writing off of your plate and onto mine, where I will create amazing digital marketing, book content, and other creative content for you and your business. Okay, so today we're going to talk about my ghostwriting process and what I do with clients. So I'm really excited to share this with you because this is the process that I do with every client, no matter if it's a small 10-page book or a big 500-page book. It's the same process. It just takes longer depending on the type of project that my client has. So for example, the first thing I always do with every client is I set everybody up with a 15-minute complimentary consult to see if we're a good fit. So if we both decide we're a good fit, we move on. And then I make sure that I give them my 1-hour consult link. And this is obviously after we have picked a package for ghostwriting and all this good stuff. So then I give them my 1-hour consult link and we jump on a 1-hour phone call and we talk about their book project details, their deadlines, what they want from the book, what kind of style it is, what genre it is. So we get all the details and I write these all down so that I can share it with my client and we can both see what the goals are, like what they want to do, how many chapters they'd like it to be, all that good stuff. And of course, all of that can change. And I always tell my clients, when you are writing a book, if you decide you want 14 chapters, it comes out to be 12, no biggie. Like it is flexible because it's your book and you can edit and change it however you like. So that's one of the great things about ghostwriting your own book. It's your book, so you can change it. So once we have that hour consult down, we talk about what we're going to do. Then we talk about, at the end of that consult, we talk about next step. Okay, so client, what do you need to do? What is your client homework? So I tell my clients specifically in detail what their homework is. And then I also email it to them. So they have a bullet point list of what they need to do before the next session. Because in the next session, we're going to jump into the next stage. It might be writing chapter 1. It might be finishing up chapter 1. It might be just outlining the book. So depending on where my client is, it could be many, many things. So one of my clients recently just gave me an 80,000 word book to edit. And so that book was already written out and I have to edit it. So it just depends on what my client needs. So my client could need, hey, we're just going to do a mind map and figure out the idea, the main idea, and all the little sub ideas that the chapters are going to be built off of. And that might be the next session. So it just depends on where my client's at. But once we have the outline, the mind map all built out, and if you don't know what a mind map is basically like it's called a word, it's sort of like a word cloud. So you start off with your main idea in the middle. So if our main idea in the middle is cat care, okay, all of the other ideas off of that should talk about cat care. Maybe one talks about bathing your cat, one talks about brushing your cat's fur, and one talks about off of the bathing one, you talk about what types of shampoos are good for cat fur. So that is like what a mind map is. It's a word cloud that organizes your thoughts and ideas. So you can get started and moving on what categories and ideas you want in your book. So once we have that done, we start writing out chapters and I set up a Google folder with all of my clients' chapters in it. So each chapter is a separate Google Doc, and that really helps at the end when I compile, so that I tell my clients, just brain dump. Like, do not worry about grammar, do not worry about paragraphing, don't worry if it sounds right or not. Just write and brain dump, because that's the best way to write a book. And it sounds funny, but you want to get those ideas out on paper. Because the thing is like we have ideas in our head and we always think like, oh, I'll remember those. And we never do. So you want to just keep brain dumping and writing it out. Some people like to do audio and then record it on a transcriber. That's fine too. Some people have content from a blog or an advertorial or a podcast they want me to put into their book. So they'll send me that. Some people will like to actually handwrite it and then take a picture of it. And then that would cost a little bit more, but you can do that as well. Take a picture of it and then send it to somebody to actually type up and transcribe. So you can do that as well. And there's many different ways to approach ghostwriting. So anyway, the whole point of it is just to brain dump and get that information out. And if it's like you're working on chapter 1 and chapter 1 is like, cat care and shampoo you can use for your cat, and you start going off on another tangent, that's fine. Just keep writing, because we can always take that information and move it into another chapter. But don't stop and wonder, where should I put this? Because then you'll lose your creative flow. Another thing I always tell my clients too is to make sure that you have a scheduled time every day to write. A lot of times earlier in the morning is better for most people. I know some people are better late at night. So if you're better late at night, schedule your time for late at night. If you have kids, schedule your writing for a time before or after your kids are awake is the most common thing I hear from clients. My kids are all older, so I don't have to worry about them tugging at me. But if you have younger kids that need your time and attention more than an older kid who's more self-sufficient, definitely write before or after they are sleeping. I've heard that is the best time to write, because then you don't have the distractions. And when you start off writing, it doesn't have to be an hour every day or 2 hours every day. It could be 15 minutes a day. And then the next week you bump it up to 20 minutes a day. And then the next week you bump it up to a half an hour, so on and so forth. So you just do those little increments. All right, so once we have the information on the Google Docs, we go back and forth and meet every week. And then we decide, okay, what is it next week we need to work on? And then go from there. And then until the process is finished. And then once we have the rough draft done, I will go back and I will grammar check it. And then once it's all grammar checked, then my client can tell me like what they want for front and back matter and all that stuff. And then we assemble that, put that together. And then once everything is done in Google Docs, then I put it all and compile it all on a Word document and send it off to their formatter so that they can format their book. And my clients come up with images that they want in their book. And then I also help recommend like what types of images they want to put in their book. And do they want to do color inside their book? And what is the pros and cons of doing color inside of your book? And then I also give them some marketing tips. So if they need some help with marketing, I can give them some outside the box marketing tips to try for marketing their book, because especially with the genres, different genres will market a little bit differently, but I have some overall really great tips for marketing books that I also help my clients with. All right, my friends, so that is how I work with clients for ghostwriting. If you're interested in working with me to get your book off the ground and published because you want that bucket list item done in the next year or in the next 6 months, or in the next 90 days, let me know. I would love to chat with you about how to get your book launched and self-published as quickly as you can and efficiently, with it looking like an amazing book. So go ahead and click that link underneath this video, the complimentary consult link, and book a time on my calendar that we can chat. I'd love to chat with you about your ghostwriting project and see if we're a good fit. And I love to work with you. So definitely go underneath this video and click a time on my calendar. And I hope you all are having a great day. Remember, I'm here to take the pain point of content off your plate and onto mine.